everybody, today we're going to be showing you how to build the 27-inch Excel arcade cabinet that I have right here. Now Lucas and Kyle are going to be helping us out with this build, and we're going to show you step by step how to complete the entire build process so that you can get ready to play immediately. So let's go ahead and get started. Before beginning construction on the base section, you'll first want to make sure that you have all of the parts laid out and that you know where everything is. Here's an overview of all of the parts that you'll be putting together to build the base section. And here's a look at the hardware that you'll use to construct this section. The hardware includes one M4 Allen wrench, 22 black 60mm bolts, 22 cross-style bolt connectors, 2 silver pivot pins along with 4 adjustable silver shelf pins, 1 doorknob plus bolt, 2 magnetic door catches with 4 screws each, one for the base door and one for the keyboard door, 2 door glides, 2 pivot hinges with rubber plug, 8 half-inch pivot hinge screws, and 1 desk grommet. Please note before beginning that 2 people are required for construction, as one person will need to support the parts until the base is securely bolted. Now that we've got all of our parts laid out, let's get started. Step 1. For this step, you'll want to refer to your Extension Arcade Base section part description page on page 2. You'll need parts 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 13, and 22 cross-style bolt connectors. For all of the parts listed, insert cross-style bolt connectors into pre-drilled holes. Make sure the slots of the bolt connectors are aligned toward the direction of the pre-drilled side holes. Once in place, firmly press down so each bolt connector head is flush with plane. It's important to make sure that these are facing the correct way because they are extremely difficult to remove if you put them in backwards. Step 2. For this step, you will need part number 1, the right side base upright, part number 12, the left side base upright, and 2 door glide pins. Insert door glide pins into both left and right uprights as shown. Step 3. For step 3, you will need part number 1, the right side base upright, part number 2, the door frame, part number 3, the door, and part number 4, the base floor. If you ordered your cabinet with a solid panel with a coin door hole, this will replace the door frame depicted here, and you will not need to install the cabinet door later in this video. Lay part number 1 flat on the floor with holes facing up as shown, and peg part number 2, the door frame, into place. Please be sure that the 4 cross-style holes are facing inside as shown circled in red. Step 4. For step number 4, you will need part number 5, the back bottom support, part number 6, the center base support, and part number 4, the base floor. Peg part number 5, the back bottom support, into part number 1, the right base upright as shown. With part number 6, the center base support, and part number 4, the base floor, rotated on its side, peg into place. Make sure the finished side of part number 4, the base floor, is facing the front of the cabinet aligning with the door frame. Also, please make sure that the pre-drilled magnetic catch holes are facing upward towards the door frame as you will need these holes later in assembly. Step 5. For step 5, you will need part number 7, the controller support, and part number 8, the top. Peg part number 7, the controller support, and part number 8, the top, into place. Please be sure the cross-style holes on part number 8, the top, are facing down and the support plate attached to part number 7, the controller support, is facing up. Step 6. For step number 6, you will need part number 9, the back middle support. Peg part number 9, the back middle support, into place. Step 7. For step number 7, you will need the 2 silver pivot pins, part number 10, the control front, magnetic catch, and 2 magnetic catch screws. Insert one of the silver pivot pins into the pre-drilled hole on part number 1, the right side base upright, as shown. Remove the silver striker from the magnetic catch and screw into place on part number 10, the control front, using the pre-drilled holes for alignment. Make sure you have the flat side of the striker plate pointed down towards the door and that the screw goes through the indented side to keep it flush. Place part number 10, the control front, on top of the silver pivot pin and insert the other silver pivot pin into the top pre-drilled hole on part number 10 with the metal striker facing inward. Insert a second silver pivot pin into that pre-drilled hole of part number 10, the control front, as shown. Step 8. For step number 8, you will need part number 11, the keyboard tray. Insert part number 11, the keyboard tray, into the provided slot below the controller support. Be sure the wooden lip is facing toward the bottom section of the unit. Step 9. For step 9, you will need part number 12, the left side base upright. Take part number 12, the left side base upright, and carefully lay it on top of the assembled unit as shown. Align all pegs and pins and maneuver the keyboard tray into the grooves on the inside of part number 12, the left side base upright. Secure by applying slight pressure until pegged into place and the upright is flush with all parts. Step 10. For step number 10, you will need part number 13, the control box top front, 1 magnetic catch, 11 60mm bolts, and the provided M4 Allen wrench. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, attach the magnetic catch lining up with the pre-drilled holes as shown. Maneuver part number 13 with attached magnetic catch into place and insert 2 60mm bolts and tighten with the provided M4 Allen wrench. Do not over-tighten your bolts. This is especially important if you have any kind of custom graphics that have been pre-applied, as over-tightening the bolts can damage the graphics. Using 9 60mm bolts, insert into holes on the uprights and tighten using the provided M4 Allen wrench. Step 11. For step 11, you will need 11 60mm bolts and the provided M4 Allen wrench. Stand the unit up and using 11 60mm bolts, insert into holes on the opposite side upright and tighten using the provided M4 Allen wrench. Step 12. For step 12, you will need part number 3, the door, 1 top and bottom pivot hinge, 4 5/8 inch pivot hinge screws, 1 magnetic door catch, 4 silver magnetic door catch screws. Remove the metal striker from the magnetic catch and locate part number 3, the door. Using 2 silver magnetic door catch screws, screw the metal striker into the pre-drilled holes on the bottom inside of the door. Like in step 7, make sure you have the flat side of the striker plate pointed toward the assembly and that the screw goes through the indented side to keep it flush. Then attach one of the pivot hinges to the opposite end of the door and screw in using 2 of the 5/8 inch pivot hinge screws. Please be sure the small portion of the L-shaped pivot hinge is overlapping the 3/4 inch door and not extruding outward. Insert the rubber plug from the hinge into the pre-drilled hole in the base section as shown. Insert the other rubber plug from the hinge into the pre-drilled hole on the inside of the door frame and maneuver your attached hinge and door into place. While in place, locate the opposite pivot hinge and attach the pivot hinge to the bottom portion of the door. Using a Phillips head screwdriver drill, secure into place using 2 silver 1/2 inch pivot hinge screws. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, attach the magnetic catch lining up with the pre-drilled holes on your base section, therefore lining up with the middle striker on the door once the door is closed. Step 13. For this step, you will need the doorknob and the doorknob screw. Using the doorknob and doorknob screw, attach by inserting the doorknob screw into the provided hole and use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten securely. Step 14. Simply drop your X-Arcade tank stick or Extension Basic Edition controller into the controller space. You may need to slightly loosen some of the side bolts temporarily before inserting the controller into the controller space. Once the controller is inserted, you can retighten these bolts and the controller will be secure. Alright, ready to build that top section? Let's get started. First, you'll want to make sure that you have all of the parts laid out so that you know where everything is before you begin construction on the Extension Arcade cabinet top. For that, you'll want to refer to the Extension Arcade cabinet top part description list on page 9. You will need 12 black 60mm bolts, 2 50mm small head bolts, 14 cross-dowel bolt connectors, 4 M4 35mm monitor bolts, or the M4 40mm monitor bolts, 4 washers, and 4 spacers. Step 1. For step 1, you will need parts 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 12 cross-dowel bolt connectors. On all parts listed, Insert cross-style bolt connectors into pre-drilled holes. Make sure the slots of the bolt connectors are aligned toward the direction of the pre-drilled side holes. Once in place, firmly press down so each bolt connector head is flush with plane. Step 2. For step 2, you will need part number 1, the left side top upright, part number 2, the lower back, 2 60mm bolts, and the provided M4 Allen wrench. Line up part number 2, the lower back, with black edge side facing towards the top. Bolt into place using 2 60mm bolts. Step 3. For step 3, you will need part number 3, the top, 2 60mm bolts, and the provided M4 Allen wrench. Peg part number 3, the top, into the upright and bolt into place using 2 60mm bolts. Step 4. For step 4, you will need part number 5, the speaker ports, and 2 60mm bolts, along with the provided M4 Allen wrench. Peg part number 5, the speaker ports, into the upright and bolt into place using 2 60mm bolts. Step 5. For step 5, you will need part number 6, the monitor mount, 4 washers, 4 spacers, and 4 M4 monitor bolts. Lay the monitor face down on a flat surface. Make sure you attach all cords to the monitor at this time. Place the 4 spacers over the mounting screw holes. Carefully lay part number 6, the monitor mount, over the back of the monitor, aligning the desired VESA mount pre-drilled holes with the spacers. Place the 4 washers over the corresponding holes and insert the M4 monitor mount screws and tighten. Step 6. For step number 6, you will need part number 6, the monitor mount. With the monitor attached, peg part number 6, the monitor mount, into place as shown. Step 7. For step 7, you will need part number 4, the backlit header marquee. Slide part number 4, the backlit header marquee, into the routed grooves as shown. Step 8. For step 8, you will need part number 10, the backlight block support, and part number 12, the light. Using a Phillips head power drill, attach your fluorescent light to part number 10 as shown. It is recommended to leave the switch in the on position and to turn it off after the cabinet is assembled by plugging and unplugging the power cord. Step 9. For step 9, you will need part number 7, the right side top upright, and 5 60mm bolts. Peg part number 10, the backlight block support with light attached, into the peg holes with the light facing inward and enclosed inside the unit. Be sure to have the light's power cord extending outside the cord slot as shown. It is recommended you now slide in part number 11, the speaker light block, into the inside and align the backside of the thin board over the speaker holes to keep any light from escaping. Now place part number 7, the right side top upright, on top of the created unit and securely peg into place. Insert the 5 60mm bolts and tighten. Step 10. While your top section is still on its side, peel off the blue plastic protective coating from one side of your plexiglass bezel and slide into the grooves located on the insides of the uprights with the peeled side facing inward. Carefully lift the arcade top and rest on your assembled extension arcade base and then peg into place. Step 11. For step 11, you'll need 2 50mm short head bolts. After the top is pegged and resting on the base, it is very important you secure the two parts together. From inside the cabinet base, you will need to insert and tighten 1 50mm short head bolt on each side. Now you've successfully completed your build of the 27-inch XL arcade cabinet. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or just head over to RecRoomMasters.com for additional support. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.